Mexican girls vs Chinese girls. Are you ready for this one? Please help me with your own comments and experiences, of course, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say. What matters is what you have lived through. And this is all based on experiences. I have another Spanish channel, which is called Marcarib, which I'm gonna quote down below in the comments, where my Spanish speakers or Latina followers will share with me their stories regarding them going out with a Chinese man, them marrying a Chinese man, them having an affair with a Chinese man, and they will have always this kind of misunderstood tenement through the culture, and therefore I decided to make this video. Okay, first, Chinese women usually will evaluate and think about their future. So whenever they will get to interact with men as for a romantic or intimate relation, no matter what stage of life, like let's say from student, worker, or even after divorce, I believe, quote me if comment if I'm wrong. Of course, it's not always the case 100% of the times, but usually if they are going out with someone, or if they even get to go out with someone, it's with an end in mind. They will think about their future, so therefore this man will have to pass through a few filters in order for her to decide to go out with him, compared to Mexican women. I'm not proud about all these comments, but this is the truth. Usually Mexican women will not think much about their future, and they will be not so interested in what is the man in general. If the man is having some future plans or potential, they will be more superficial, thinking about the present moment. Is he good looking? Is he gentleman enough at that very moment that they meet or in the date? But they will not have a lot of thoughts regarding tomorrow. Whereas a Chinese woman will be total opposite. The man might be not looking at his greatest at that very moment, but if he is for them husband material, is he well prepared for the future, or is he all his life had been working for having assets and so forth, then they will take them. Okay, this comes to the second point. Chinese will find a man attractive if, disclaimer, not all of them, they get to pass their own filters or standards, like having a house, owning a house, being a homeowner, having a car, and have some savings at the bank to, once you get married, get some money for daily life. Whereas Mexicans do not filter that much. They don't even have, some of them, it's sad to say it, but because many men watching this video might also agree with me that we have beautiful, gorgeous Latinas all around the world that have really low self-esteem, because sometimes I really get to see this kind of gorgeous goddess women that are dating men that are not worth of them. But nonetheless, they don't filter much, as I was saying, and their main parameters will be is he handsome? How is he looking from the outside? More like a superficial way. Is he good looking? Is he, nowadays in the Latin culture, which I'm not a fan of, they really like these men that are tattooed from the whole arm or the whole chest. In general, I dislike a little bit tattoos. I don't have myself one, and I would prefer one man that also doesn't have one, but I don't know. However, these are some of the stereotypes that Latina women, Mexican women are looking for. In this specific video, I'm gonna be relating or talking focused on Mexican, because this is my own country, my own culture. Although there are many similarities regarding Mexicans, Colombians, Venezuelans, not 100%, but you can find similarities. Since we speak the same language, somehow we are kind of globalized. We share the social media, the same language, so we get to homologue, how to say, the whole community and the whole standard. So this is like kind of a macho looking guy that is looking good, that smells good, is using perfume, is tattooed, like very well groomed. Usually they like this beard. You go to this, how they call this? Special salons for men to cut their beards, and they got it perfect. They even have to dye it sometimes to get it perfect, just like the Arabs. So in Mexico now it's trending, and women are very attracted to this kind of guys. They are well dressed. Sometimes they are overdressed to my taste. What do I mean with overdress? Showing off all this logomania, like all kind of logos, just like yelling, I have money, I'm wearing brands, Gucci, Versace, like excessively, like this hat, this jump, whatever, what shirt, jersey, and trousers or shorts, and Balenciaga sandals. I find it sometimes a little bit tacky, but this is the way they like it. So, presumptuous, is that the word? Presumptuous, like showing off, wearing brands, owning a flashy car. And so this woman usually will be very observant of how he's looking like from the outside. And I'm not meaning like look at his card from the inside, but what I try to say is that they will be very their filters will be more like superficial, what they are as far as the eye can see. So he seems to have a good car, he seems to wear brands, he seems like pumped up, goes to the gym, has few tattoos, looking sexy, macho style with beard, with all this swag. Wow, he's a hottie, he's a catch. I mean, so this woman will not get any further than that. Compared to Chinese, they are not so into looks as per se, like how well dressed he is, which of course maybe cars and such, yes, but she is more into what we were previously talking, the video I posted last time, the uncomfortable questions, like how much is he making a month, a year? What is his fixed income or his passive income? Does he has any investments? Does he has any like assets? Is like what does he own? Because you cannot really get to see from a man's wearing brands or looking great. You cannot believe how many men, like at one side, you can get to see, and perhaps you will guess like he has money. But it's not the case, and he has a lot of debt, or he is just being flashy, but his bank account or his finances are not on place. And by now you must know what I mean. So usually this is a big mistake for Mexican women to just be, how to say, easily trapped on these superficial looks, because you don't really get to know. Some do not know even what does he do for a living, which is one of the comfortable questions that I also was commenting on the last video. Okay, it's uncomfortable, but it's essential, and it's a key question that you have to get to know, especially if you're in Mexico, and especially if you're a woman, because of safety reasons and because if you are considering this man for any further interaction. It's important to get to know what is he doing for a living. No, I'm just gonna go for the looks, and it looks good to me, it feels good, he smells good, he treats me good at the beginning. So it's a pass. It's a green light. I believe Chinese women are not so shallow as here. And that is go, how to say, like a tick for them. Okay, 1 point. However, this is facts and that's it. Next. So, yeah, she doesn't care much about what is his income, because she just gets to see or gets to enjoy the money, and that's what's matter. She doesn't even know where is this coming from, like the money, where is this money coming from? Is it illegal or not so legal way? She doesn't even want to get into that question or that knowledge better. As soon as she gets to enjoy, as long as she gets to enjoy the money, it's fine. To have luxurious dinner, shopping, trips. Although there might be no savings, no investments, no future plans even. It's just like how to say, process women. Here it's called process women, but I believe in English is another word, like just a woman for the time being. It's not someone that man is targeting to be a wife for him. And she's just living in the moment. Also, she's also enjoying this flashiness, and also herself becoming flashy too, showing on Instagram how well she's treated by him, going on to trips, bought these luxurious bags, etc., etc. So what about the Chinese one? They don't mind too much about the guy's looks, and like if he's handsome, this will not make them feel good. Whereas Latinas, they care more about looks, going out with a handsome one. I believe Chinese, they don't have this kind of standard, like I have to look for a handsome one. Although when they say I want a handsome one, it's equal to tall, because a lot of men in the south, especially like southern part of China, they are like shorter. So they will prefer tall guy, but usually when I wanted to ask what is good looking handsome for you, is like a tall guy, it's handsome. So this is their standard of handsome. Once again, it's not for all, but many told me so. So Mexican, no matter how they treat them with time, it's hard to leave them, because they pay for their luxurious lifestyle, plastic surgeries. This is a very common, how to say, there is this exchange of like Mexican, like seriously, how to say, humble women finding this kind of there is this culture of buchon in Mexico, finding this guy, which I previously described. He has some money, and then he paying for her total how to say, plastic surgery, like nose, maybe jaw, and of course other body jobs, you name it, bottom, top, and waist. So they will be totally transformed into Barbies. And of course, I've heard many friends that they do this in exchange of being able to get used, how to say, I'll pay for this as long as you get to let me enjoy the new body, the benefits, so they get into these situationships, which are not even relationships per se, because usually women are not even engaged on a real commitment with this man, since some of these men really have loads and loads of money and they are avoidant to being with only one woman if they can enjoy many. Nonetheless, these women get emotionally attached to them, sometimes financially attached, because they are already enjoying this lifestyle, and they get to, how to say, undergo many mistreatment. Okay, maybe their Instagram doesn't tell so, but it's the way, that's the way for many. Okay, then next, Chinese. Very important, they are usually looking for marriage whenever looking for like someone. They are not in the mindset of losing time. This is usually, and more in the go-getting mindset of defining what they want as a husband and going like just to get that. They have a very straightforward kind of list of what is that they want and they don't want, and that is how they find him, the one. So another thing is like, this is something that some of the Mexican or Latin men have commented on the other channel that I have, that they really like this aspect about Chinese women, that they know what they want and they know what they don't want. Whereas Mexican women, they're not looking for anything in the first place and they suddenly find love. And this can happen one time over and over again, because they were not looking and then it happened, and they were not looking and then it happened. This is Rosie. So that's why I believe there's so much heartbreak here in Mexico, because you were not looking, but somebody liked you and somebody treated you well. So somebody like conquer you, pursue you, court you, and you fall in his arms, fall in love with him. Afterwards, it didn't work, so you just heal, and afterward, just the same cycle over and over. Whereas Chinese girls, either whenever it's time they start looking for the husband, or they have this mindset since small because their families had input this, or society. So whenever they are, around prospects or there's men liking them, they will use their filters in order for them to go out with them or in order to date them. And it's like a green light, because at least it like meets their criteria. And if it doesn't work afterwards, at least you did the best effort on filtering the guy, right? That doesn't mean it will be successful, but it's a good way to start. So Mexican women do not have marriage as a goal when dating, but they're looking at having a boyfriend. And at any age of life, let's say my age, at this age, I'm not looking for a boyfriend. Actually, I will expect to find a husband, not a boyfriend. I had a lot of boyfriends previously. Anyways, they see this relationship or the boyfriend status as a romantic way of dating, no matter the age. Okay, if you are like 20, it's fine. But as time goes by, some women are living with their boyfriends for 10 years and their boyfriends haven't decided to marry them because, of course, they are already getting all the benefits that they can. Why will they want to commit, right? Even committing will be more responsibilities to take, or even they were not even convinced that these women were their wives from the beginning. But these girls were already so attached to them that they just decided to keep staying, living with them, serving them, washing clothes for them, doing everything, just for him to one day wake up and be convinced, like, let's get married. So this is very unusual. And there's so many relationships here that they're living together and already 4 years passed by and there's no commitment yet. And the women, the only thing that happens is that she's getting more and more angry about the situation of her being on a waiting status and him not proposing. What do you think about this situation? In my own perspective, by the way, I wanted to say, I was in an application called Bumble, and I went there. I wanted to check out what it was here. I was there also when I went to Las Vegas, by the way. But for Mexico, Guadalajara especially, it was very weird for men that I got to write in my profile, I want marriage. It was like, wow, it's the first time I see a woman writing that. What is their reaction whenever they read this? Not them, the ones that got to take me out, of course, maybe they were more serious men, but the ones that didn't make the cut, they will write in the chat, why you want to get married? You look so desperate. Why you are such in a rush? Like, seriously, give me a break. It's not I'm desperate or I'm in a rush. It's just what I want. I mean, therefore I'm saying it's not like Mexicans have we have our own, how to say, weak points or weak mentality. But I learned from the Chinese, this is what you want. This is what you want. Why would you be wasting more time with someone that doesn't match that list or that vision? If there is one kid just here chatting with me like, oh, it seems you want so much, you want marriage, why you are such in a rush? I'm 37. Which rush are you talking about? Even if you are 30. But everything has to do with women letting this happen. Yeah. However, I wanted to share with you that because they will be very amazed about me writing I want marriage. They will think I'm desperate, and why would I write that? I should just write like the other options were like, I don't know what I'm looking for, or boyfriend, girlfriend, and I'm like, I'm not gonna write that because this is what I want. And yeah, anyways, I thought it was funny from them. Immature. However, next. Okay, so usually, as I was saying, women will not have an end in mind. But by time they will be dependent on a relationship and they will be pursuing marriage. But since they didn't put the rules from the very beginning, it's hard for them to have any bargaining chips on the table anymore after 10 years have passed by and you're washing clothes for him, making him dinner, like if you're playing wife but he hasn't given you the title officially. So yeah, what else? Yeah, they go on dates and they think this is romantic, go on dates with a boyfriend, having dinners, receiving hugs, kisses, and especially a lot of text messages like I love you, I miss you. And Latino lover, it's very well known around the world, this term, because it's it's just a term of being a lover, you're a great lover, I mean man, but that's it. Whenever commitment is mentioned, you cannot see them anymore. Not all of them, of course. There must be some different ones. However, this is an issue that gets to happen because of women giving them the freedom to do that, right? So yeah, they will have endless talks about how much they love each other, but somehow he doesn't wants to commit. He's not ready for it. Whatever. The worst part of it is that some Mexican women will be willing to giving them kids, and they will be willing to be giving them kids and having their kids of a person that is not even willing to commit to them. This is just crazy, and you know what I'm talking about. Single mothers in Latin America and Mexico are big numbers. So in this regard, I believe that Chinese... there's so much to talk about this issue because once I went to the hospital in China, I was amazed how at the rate... at the rate of how fast they decided on not having the child. It's not that they don't get pregnant. The whole issue is that they can get on pregnant easily. Whereas in Mexico, this was not totally legal. It's just so like legal recently, just in some states. And even though it's legal, people will be compassionate and will believe it's not the best or first way to choose, and they will have somehow more heart towards the issue. As compared to Chinese, they are very cold-headed in this regard, especially back then when the one child policy was in place. They didn't have the choice. Of course, it was their own choice to did what they did, but at the end of the day, if they had a child, they will be like single mothers. Nobody will take them, and who will like them? They will be just ruined forever. So this is maybe a story for another video. I was amazed. This picture doesn't erase from my mind, although many years have passed by. So I just wanted to make that note. It's not like we or women here, they're sleeping over with any guys, having children all around. Perhaps even Chinese get more pregnant than Latin women, but they are deciding more on not having these childs. You cannot tell who is better in that regard. It's very hard to judge these things, but it's the way it is. At times, even the man doesn't commit, it still supports the children. So this is good. My dog is here. Okay. So the boyfriend is enjoying everything and in some cases, even they are living 50-50, means AH, means everybody pays their own bills, and you're living under the rooftop of a man. I mean here, already paying your own bills. I don't get the point on even having one man in that case. That's my personal view for the matter, although I know that maybe here there are different opinions about it, but seriously, they are cooking for them, washing the laundry, dishes, giving them babies, paying their own bills. For what? For no commitment. So they will be losing time, self-respect, peace, because you will lose peace day by day, not having the, seguridad, the assurance that he will commit someday or will even dump you. And sometimes even the chance to have children, because they are waiting for him to propose and time is just passing by. And before you criticize my case, I'm not having this issue at this very moment. I didn't have to deal with this issue ever before. So please just keep your comments in that regard. That time is passing by and I'm not having someone to commit to me yet. Or what is worse, they will get pregnant and the boyfriend will run away or will deny to marry with them or will just do something disgusting, and she will prove herself what she knew from long ago, that she wasn't going to commit to her. This is the last resource that they will use, children. And Chinese, they make sure, first of all, that he is well prepared regarding assets, savings, future plans, income. Like he is a man for marriage. First things first. So once again, Mexican doesn't care much about how much the beloved boyfriend earns or his income, because it's just a boyfriend. And that's how things end up being. Sometimes, okay, I understand real love exists in life, but whenever you are seeing these situations of the women willing to have children with one person that doesn't want to commit, that doesn't pay bills, it's just too much. You cannot. Anyway, this is just personal. Okay. So if he doesn't have enough to cover expenses for her and her children to come, she doesn't even think about that. She's just thinking about how much he loves her, or at least how much he says he loves her. Because, like one TikTok in China said, you cannot go to the doctor and say to the doctor, like, I love her so much, please just proceed with the surgery. My love will pay for that. Comment.